Hello and greetings to everybody at the New York New Belfast Conference. We're so pleased to be a part of it, and Rachel and I are delighted to be joining you from the atrium of the New Irish Arts Center. And we're going to give you a little bit of a tour of this wonderful new building that's been more than a decade in the making. Right now, what you're seeing behind us is the historic facade of the former Seibert Tire, which is the building that preceded the building that we've now constructed. However, the facade from that former building has been preserved. It was literally held up as we demolished the building behind it and then reattached the facade to the brand new building that's been constructed. It's a wonderful piece of history. Seibert Tire, believe it or not, was built in 1916. You just can't make it up. And we're so thrilled that we're bookended by history because we have the historic facade of Seibert Tire and the building connecting to the old Irish Arts Center on 51st Street. So it's all coming together in a wonderful manifestation of the old and the new.
Our programming also embraces the idea of the historic and the familiar, the ghosts in the building, if you will, and the future. The New Irish Arts Center and our new artistic canvas provides an opportunity to continue to build on Irish Arts Center as a home to connect Ireland and New York, Ireland and North America, and Ireland and the world, inclusive of all artistic practices, both traditional and contemporary, across all disciplines, and including the important conversation to continue between both.
And we couldn't be happier to be part of the New York New Belfast Conference this year. And you'll see now as we take you into each of the spaces how that mission will manifest itself into the future. So we're here in our beautiful flexible theater, currently arranged in our 3/4 thrust configuration, which we're so excited about this wonderful design. And as you know, all of the different technical and artistic capabilities of this flexible theater were arrived at after a years-long consultative process with hundreds and hundreds of artists and practitioners. And working with them, we've developed all of the different properties of the space, from the unistrut to the acoustic materials, to all of the power, to all of the lighting grid configurations and the seating configurations. Now, we've got seating configurations in 3/4 thrust, we have end-on, we have east-west traverse, we have north traverse, we have no seating at all for standing room configurations. So many different opportunities to really transform the experience in the New Irish Arts Center, and we're so grateful for all of the folks along the way who have helped us get here.
Here we are in the upper atrium where we've just finished some work on the ceiling. Through 7 panels in the ceiling, we can connect directly to the structural steel from which we can literally hold tons to support visual arts in this gorgeous space. You'll also find visual arts programming all throughout the building, on the ground floor, in our library, in interstitial spaces, and in our theater when we use it as an installation.
So as you can already tell, we've had a really robust process of engaging with all of our stakeholders to really understand what activities might occur in a new Irish Arts Center for the 21st century. And as we went through that process, one of the refrains we heard over and over and over was how important community and hospitality and a place for conversation was to the overall experience of Irish culture. And indeed to Irish Arts Center, even in our building on 51st Street, having that space for us to come together and have conversations, build friendships, just so important to what we do. So we made what might be considered an unusual decision for New York City to dedicate the ground floor to the function of hospitality and conversation, a place for us to come together. Whereas in a lot of theaters in New York City, right, you sort of come straight in, you might hit a brick wall, and then just on the other side of that wall is the theater. Here we've decided to put the theater up in the air so that we could have this generous ground floor space that connects us from the 11th Avenue entrance all the way to the historic 51st Street building. So we're going to have wonderful hospitality experiences down here. We've got some beautiful craft furniture from Ireland, hopefully on its way really soon in time for the opening later in the year. And we're going to be working with an incredible neighborhood partner to provide a wonderful food and beverage program for this ground floor space. So hospitality, well served here in the New Irish Arts Center.
Here we are in our studio on the ground floor with a resilient dance floor, floor-to-ceiling mirrors, audio inputs, projector capabilities. We're excited to be able to bring our music and dance classes back into the heart of Irish Arts Centre, as well as support rehearsal space, community programming and events, and it even connects to the back of house so that we can support our theatre there.
So here we are in our top floor library space, which, like all the spaces throughout the building, will have multiple uses. We'll have language and literature and history classes up here, classes of a more seminar nature, whereas the studio space down on the ground floor will host music and dance and more performative classes. This space here will also be used for entertaining and saying thank you to some of our supporters and friends and stakeholders who help make the programming that we do possible. We've got a great little kitchen to help support this space. And of course, these great windows looking out onto the streetscape here at 11th Avenue with a little glimpse of the Hudson behind us. It's just a wonderful setting for all of the educational activities and entertaining activities that we'll do up here in this beautiful space. It'll be finished with some further Irish craft furniture. It'll have visual art on the walls. We're really excited to see this space really help us make the new Irish Arts Centre a home. So it won't be long now till we're able to gather for some amazing cultural experiences and warm Irish hospitality together.
Hopefully, everyone who can will continue to be vaccinated, stay safe, so that we can gather together here by the end of the year.
Cheers.